Hello all, good evening. So, we are in the supply chapter. In the previous class, we have discussed regarding this schedule 1 point. Just to have a quick recap regarding the supply chapter. Just to have a quick recap regarding the supply chapter. If you see, I'm not again and again referring to the definitions, sir, because we had already enough number of times revision for the definitions. So I'm just starting with supply. In supply, we are starting with section 7. Under section 7, there is 7 subsection 1, 7 subsection 1a, and 7 subsection 2. 7 subsection 1 helps us in deciding when a transaction can be called as supply. So under 1 also there are again subsection AA, subsection subclause AA, subclause B, subclause C. So in all these provisions will be determining whether a transaction amounts to supply or not. Then we will come to 7 subsection 1a. In 7 subsection 1a, once a transaction is classified as supply, then we'll go to 7 subsection 1a and we'll identify or classify it as whether supply of good or supply of service. Then at last we'll move to 7 subsection 2. If any transaction, if already passed it 7 subsection 1, as per that it is supply. Maybe as per 7 subsection 1a it is either good or service. But ultimately if such transaction is covered under 7 subsection 2 negative list, then it is not a supply, right? So then we'll discuss in detail, we'll be revising in detail once again under 7 subsection 1. Under 7 subsection 1, there is clause A, clause AA, clause B and clause C. 7 subsection 1 clause A simply says like supply includes sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal. So to call as supply, one of these activities should have happened: sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, lease, rental, disposal, carried out by a taxable person for a consideration in relation to goods, services or both in the course or furtherance of business. Then 7 subsection 1 clause A. What is called supply as per 7 subsection 1 clause A? Any person other than individual carrying out any transactions with respect to good or service with their members or partners or constituents with them, this person other than individual is providing goods or services, some kind of transactions it is doing in relation to goods and services with these members for a cash payment or for a deferred payment, then that also amounts to supply. Then 7 subsection 1 clause B talks about import of service. When we are talking about import of service, we have even discussed a point from 7 subsection 1 clause C, schedule 1 related point also, and together we have discussed with respect to import of service. You should check in an import of service whether it involves consideration or not. If it involves consideration, then it is definitely a supply. We need to further check whether it is taxable or exempted. Okay, if such transaction is in the course or furtherance of business, then it is a supply, taxable, RCM. If it is not in the course or furtherance of business, then check whether the recipient is government, charitable entity or individual, then it is exempted. However, exemption is not available to OIDR services. Then the second one is like if the importer being a recipient is any other person, then also it is supply covered under RCM. Okay. Then import of service where there is no consideration involved and it is covered under schedule 1, where such service is from a related person and in the course or furtherance of business. It is from a related person and it is in the course or furtherance of business. Then it is supply. So import of service you should check with consideration or without consideration. Without consideration are 2 conditions: in the course or furtherance of business, from a related person, then supply. Then OIDR services already we had enough kind of discussion regarding this. Then the exact previous class we have discussed about the schedule 1. What is schedule 1? Transactions which are treated as supply even though there is no consideration. The first one is like what? In between principal and agent, if any goods are transferred, even though there is no consideration involved, it can be called as supply. Provided here the determining factor is, here the deciding factor is invoice. One second. Okay, so now see, in principal and agent, here the situation 1 is like, sir, to explain this I have given these examples. When principal sends the agent goods and invoice is not raised, I mean if invoice is directly raised in the name of customer, then between principal and agent it's not a supply, there is no principal and agent relationship. Next, then the situation 2, principal raises invoice in the name of agent and then again invoice is raised by agent in the name of customer, then between principal and agent also it's a supply even though there is no consideration. Then we have discussed about this interest and discount. Interest and discount is exempted, that discussion is already happened to us. The extra point which is relevant here is where an automobile showroom sold car under hire purchase. So when the buyer paying money for the car, he need to pay the car value along with interest. So here in this kind of, when it is an individual interest transaction, loan transaction, interest is exempted. But here it's not just loan. He is selling car and even extending the credit. In this kind of situations, extension of credit is not a standalone supply. It got complemented along with the supply of car. So which is predominant here? Car supply is the predominant thing. So since it is becoming incidental one, by applying the composite supply logic, the predominant supply tax rate is only applicable on the whole bundle. So interest will also get taxed here. Then based on this, we have discussed about the declaratory agent related clarification, which says like principal raised invoice directly in the name of customer. Then there is a supply between only principal and customer. In between DCA and customer, there is no supply. So if you see in situation 1 between principal and agent, there is only good transfer but no invoice, hence not a supply. Between agent and customer, goods transferred but no invoice, hence not a supply. Whereas extension of credit also there, because declaratory agent, the difference between a normal agent and declaratory agent is like The liquidatory agent is a person who accepts the credit risk. The liquidatory agent is a person who accepts the credit risk. So extension of credit. So the liquidatory agent here offers the extension of credit. So here the interest will get exempted, right? Then principal to customer. Sir, why it's getting exempted? It's a standalone transaction between agent and customer. There is no supply of good. If there is supply of good and extension of credit, then composite supply. Here only extension of credit is there, so no composite supply here. Principal to customer, invoice is there, supply of good. But come to situation 2. What happens in situation 2? Principal raise invoice to DCA and DCA again raise invoice to customer. So between principal and agent also supply, DCA and customer is also supply. So see here, between principal and declaratory commission agent, invoice raised, hence it is supply. Between agent and declaratory commission agent, invoice raised, so there is supply of good. But additionally, there is even extension of credit here between DC and customer, and supply of goods also there, extension of credit also is there, hence it becomes composite supply. Interest will also become taxable here, right? Then supply of goods between related persons and distinct persons. Where there is any supply of goods between related persons and distinct persons, it amounts to supply even though there is no consideration between related persons and distinct persons. If any goods are transferred, it amounts to supply even though there is no consideration. So for that there is a proviso. However, when the related persons are employer and employee and the value of goods services which are given as gift is within 50,000, then not a supply. Greater than 50,000, then the whole amount is supply. Then interstate movement of conveyance, when the conveyance itself is sent from one related person to another distinct person, when it is sent for carrying goods and passengers, not a supply. For repairs, then supply only to the extent of repairs. When it is sent for further supply, then it is supply to the extent of total conveyance value. Then it is supply to the extent of total conveyance value. Then permanent transfer or disposal of. Okay. Then for further supply, then see, if it is for repair sent, then to the extent of repairs it is supply. If it is sent for the further supply, then the whole value has to be treated as supply. Then permanent transfer or disposal of business assets. When there is permanent transfer or disposal of business assets, then the whole permanent transfer or disposal of business assets, and if ITC is claimed, then it amounts to again supply. Next, 7.1a and schedule 2. So what? 7.1 we have completed. Then we have moved on to 7 subsection 1a, which is what? Already we have classified something as supply. Now we are just deciding whether it is supply of good or supply of service. Okay. Then the ownership and title got transferred, supply of good. But when only possession got transferred, not ownership, then it is supply of service. If it is a composite supply like works contract, treated as supply of service. Restaurants one, treated as supply of service. Remember, bakeries and ice cream parlors need not to be treated as like restaurants. Intangibles, pre-packed software, then it is a good. All other intangibles has to be treated as what? Supply of service only. Right? I think almost many students are in a tense environment actually. So I've been so many messages are keep on popping up in my mobile. So tomorrow is the result day, right? the December 2024 attempt result day, right? So, and almost, and these days, like the institute is not even letting us sleep peacefully actually. Somewhere in the middle of the night, early morning, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, this fellow is releasing the result. So maybe at least 10 o'clock now, they'll have some proper sleep, breakfast, then so you could see, right? So, but I want to tell one thing. See, when see how as student you feel like means when I talk from here, sir, you already qualified, you can say anything. Okay, whatever you say, it goes like it has value. So I understand even your concern. But see, in this moment, like even not now, maybe you student didn't wrote exam till now, maybe afterwards in the next attempt also, anyhow you'll be writing exam, right? Whenever you're waiting for result, okay, that nervousness will be there. That is for sure will have that nervousness. I cannot say like you'll be coming out of that nervousness and you could be so something like so look at me how Josh I am, how strong I am. So I don't have any panicness, all this blah 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 stuff and all will not happen. So if you sincerely gave attempt, having this nervousness is common. So but you don't stick to the website of institute and don't like scroll it for a number of times, like you'll be pushing like for reload. So when really the result comes, there is all this, there are n number of telegram groups and BCCA like kind of groups, someone or the will be messaging over there here. Okay, so Lakshman Chinna, so there is no expected time. See, okay, once it's 11th na, it could be any time, but don't rush to it. I think definitely it would be somewhere after 6 a.m. only. So have some proper sleep today, at least today. So we don't know what happens yesterday. So, but I wish you all the very best, sir, who all are waiting for the result. I really, really wish you that you should become a qualified cost accountant this time. If you're an inter student, so I want you to qualify that CMA inter, whatever the exam you wrote, I want you to qualify. But yes, at least because what happened in Nikita, it's like morning, I have seen those students also. Morning, if they got upset, now they'll not eat anything. So anyhow, this is gone. So why you are unnecessarily becoming weak? So I don't even understand. So at least I'm thinking like if I am the institute president, now definitely I'll release somewhere after 2 p.m. Okay, I want the students also should have lunch also. Okay, night dinner if somehow because of some bad news, if they listen also, dinner they skip also, it's fine. But at least they should have breakfast and lunch, right? Even here, so when I go down actually in this campus, there are some 50 to 60 inter students actually are there. So they have wrote inter both groups exams. You may ask like why they are here in the campus. Actually, after inter here, the skill training classes are going on. Skill training now like regarding this public speaking and all. Okay, for that we have hired a trainer. So trainer will come and then they will be training inter students. So we thought like it would be helpful for them in the like articleship and all. So they'll be helpful. So those students, whenever I go down, so like once I close this class and if I go down now, so all of like I am worrying like maybe they'll eat their fingers also. So everybody wherever the place I see, they'll be biting their nails like anything. I feel someday like they'll so at least one person is there. So I'm definitely worried about him. Maybe I cannot see his fingers by the time result will get declared. And all these students are like have given this like the first base attempt, actually the first attempt they have given now. So more tension parties are there here. Need to do something actually after this class. So maybe some motivation has to be given. At least they should sleep today. Okay. So let us continue with our discussion. So you have observed this or not? Like once ChatGPT was introduced, everybody is texting with pure grammatical sense actually. So more polished words everywhere, like whichever the group I see. So I didn't haven't seen such kind of professional, perfectly framed messages till now. But once ChatGPT has became familiar, na. So these days everybody grammar got corrected. Everybody is having extraordinary vocabulary. So no grammatical mistakes at all. And everybody actually becoming a so much motivation actually they are giving, like so they are drafting so well the messages, and they are so even I will also do. It's not like I'm an exception for it. Sometimes even I will also do when I have to type something like really lengthy message na. So instead of me doing the proofreading, I'm giving it to the chat GPT. So we'll just copy paste here and we'll put it in the chat GPT. It will frame it much more better and we'll copy and paste it. Okay, writing emails has become so easy. So actually, when I was in articleship, so I used to take like initial days like articleship. So like whenever regarding an assessment, if a principal has to go for this income tax office or GST office, he'll ask us to prepare a letter actually to the income tax commissioner or assistant commissioner, whoever it is. Like I used to take 3 hours, 4 hours of time. So that time ChatGPT is there. Otherwise, now I might have finished it in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay. So we used to like take 2 hours, 3 hours, and literally so many times actually we have those scoldings actually. So why this sentence you have kept like this? Why this one? So they expect a standard kind of format when it has to be given to income tax officers. So we need to cross check like and 2 times, 3 times I need to check whether this word can be kept or not, whether any alternate word I can be used or not. So much. So now actually ChatGPT has made everything easy. The writing emails has become easy. Okay. So let us start with section 7 subsection 2. Along with schedule 3. Okay. Section 7 subsection 2 along with schedule 3. So this we call it as negative list also. This we call it as what? The schedule 3 or whatever the transactions which we are covering here are even called as negative list. negative list. Okay, what would be there here? Here there will be transactions. Here it covers the transactions which are treated as neither supply of goods nor supply of services. Transactions which are neither supply of goods nor supply of services. Transactions which are neither supply of goods nor supply of services. Seven subsection 2 and schedule 3, which says like transactions which are treated as neither supply of goods nor supply of services. Okay, what are these? The first one is funeral, burial, crematorium services. Funeral, burial, crematorium or mortuary service. Funeral, burial, crematorium or mortuary service including transportation of the deceased. Funeral, burial, crematorium or mortuary services including transportation of the deceased. I mean, so it is why it has been kept in negative list now. So already on so many things they are levying GST, goods and services. All these activities are related to death or after death. Okay, at least they felt like pity actually. So that's why they thought like to leave at least them. Otherwise people will say like, even in death also you guys will collect GST na. So like that, so the people will comment na, and maybe the council or the government thought like, no, we don't want to listen such kind of harsh words. So we'll leave this one. Okay, so funeral, burial, crematorium or mortuary services including transportation of the deceased are covered under negative list. Then second one, sir. Sale of land and building. Sale of land and building. Sale of land and building. So this is also covered under negative list, but it is not always. That's why we are going to further classify it. Sale of land and building is not covered in negative list always. Only in few cases it is covered under the negative list. Where consideration wholly or partly received before completion. I mean before the completion of building only, consideration either wholly or partly received. Let's say a layout has been made and they have kept a hoarding, a banner like so and so inches, and they are gonna construct the buildings and all. The plan, everything got improved. You could see the construction is going on. So then you went and approached the builder and said like you want a particular floor or like a particular flat, and you paid advance also. So now you have paid the consideration wholly or partly. Advance now partly you paid. When? Before the completion of building only, right? So then it comes under this place where consideration wholly or partly received before completion. The second one, where consideration entirely received after completion. Where consideration entirely received after completion. The entire consideration is received after completion. Where the consideration is received wholly or partly. where the consideration is wholly or partly received. Okay, then it is a works contract. It has to be treated as a works contract. Sir, works contract now what? It's a contract related to immovable property and involves supply of good and service now. So this also has to be interpreted as like what? As a works contract, and it is like a supply of service. It is like a supply of service. Then where the entire consideration is received after completion, the whole consideration is received after completion, then it is not a supply. Then it is not a supply as per schedule 3. Not a supply as per schedule 3. See, understand, if you bought an under construction building and paid advance or the whole amount, it's a supply. Where you bought or where the transaction is related to a completed building, already building got completed, then the consideration paid, then it is not a supply. So the building where I am sitting now or where you are sitting now, so those building is a completed building. If any consideration paid or received with respect to such building, then it is not a supply. Where it is with respect to a building which is in under construction, then it has to be treated as a works contract and it is a supply of service, right? So we'll understand what is called completion. Completion means getting a completion certificate or occupying it. See, even though you didn't got completion certificate, you just occupied in the building and you started using that building, then it has to be treated as what? Completed only. So completion means date of completion certificate or date of first occupation. Date of completion certificate or date of first occupation. Earlier. Or date of first occupation, whichever is earlier. Date of completion certificate or date of first occupation, whichever is earlier. That is called completion. So you should check whether the consideration is received before completion or after completion. Then third one in the negative list. Actionable claims. Other than specified actionable claims. Actionable claims other than specified actionable claims. So actionable claims, now I already said like it's a claim to any debt. Examples are like lottery ticket, bills of exchange, promissory note, check, demand draft, all these are actionable claims. But actionable claims are covered under negative list. Specified actionable claims are not covered. I mean, if it is a specified actionable claim, supply only. Other than specified actionable claim, then not a supply. Right? So you need to understand what are called specified actionable claims. So specified actionable claims na specified actionable claims na it could be betting, gambling, casinos, horse racing, betting, gambling, casinos, horse racing, lottery, online money gaming. Online money gaming. Okay, specified actionable claims na what? Betting, gambling, casinos, horse race, lottery, online money game. These are called as specified actionable claim. If it is a specified actionable claim, then it is supply only. Other than specified actionable claims, such as like bills of exchange, check, deed, promissory note, such kind of actionable claims are not supply. Then fourth one. Functions performed by MPs, MLAs, members of local authorities, functions performed by MPs, MLAs, members of local authorities, panchayats, etc. Functions performed by MPs, MLAs, members of local authorities, panchayats, etc. and persons who has hold sorry who has who holds any post as per provisions of constitution, who holds any post as per provisions of constitution. See, understand here, if you are an MP, MLA, or you are something like a governor kind of, or any other person, so who has been in such position based on the powers of the constitution, for acting as a council member you are getting something, so like that. Okay, so then whatever the functions you perform, for that if any consideration you received, that is not a supply, that's not a supply. Then fifth one, services by an employer, services by an employee to employer, services by an employee to employer in the course of employment, service by an employee to employer in the course of employment, service by an employee to employer in the course of employment, which is like contract, which can be contract one or a regular one. Such kind of employment would be either a contract employment or regular employment. So there are services by employee to employer in the course of employment. So for the services of employee, what employer gives salary, such salary is out of the scope of GST. So it's not a supply. So for my services rendered to a company, if I get salary, such salary part is not a supply. But other than employment, if I provide any additional service, not under the contract of employment, I am providing any additional service. Let's say I am a chartered accountant, cost accountant. I've been appointed for a company as a manager. So my things are like, so me will be actually looking care after the finance. So finance manager, my role. So that was done. Then additionally, they actually file their GST returns by appointing a consultant. For that consultant, they are paying some money. So what I did now, I asked and I talked to the other company board and all, and I said like, I will only file the GST returns also, which is out of the contract of employment. So pay for me maybe little less than what you pay to the outsider. Pay me some amount for filing GST returns and I'll do the GST filings also. So I'll be getting my salary, which is separate for my managing things and all, finance management and all. Whereas I'll even get another compensation or consideration for filing the GST return. So this part which I get for filing the GST returns, that is supply only, because that is outside the contract of employment, that's not within the contract of employment. Okay, then sixth one, services by Supreme Court or any court or tribunal, services by Supreme Court or any court or tribunal. So the services are being provided by Supreme Court or any court or tribunal. So these are certain points which are covered under the schedule 3. So once again, if you quickly see, the first one is what? Funeral, burial, crematorium services or mortuary services including transportation of the deceased. Second one is what? Sale of land and building, where the consideration is received wholly or partly before completion. It's a works contract. Supply of service, where the consideration is entirely received after completion, then it is not a supply. Schedule 3. Then completion means it is either date of completion. Completion means earlier of date of completion or date of first occupation, whichever is earlier. Then actionable claims. Actionable claims na other than specified actionable claims. So specified actionable claims means betting, gambling, casinos, horse racing, lottery, online money, gaming. I mean, these things are not under the negative list. These are supply only. You understand, right? These are supply only. Others are only, other actionable claims are covered under the negative list. Then functions performed by MPs and MLAs or any person who has entrusted such position as per constitution. Then services by an employee to employer in the course of employment. Then services provided by Supreme Court or any court or tribunal. So these are the services. There are other things also, sir. Eighth one. It's called as bond to bond transfer. Eighth one means bond to bond transfer. So what is this bond to bond transfer? This is an interlinkage with customs chapter types of duties. Okay, there also. So like I explain now anyhow. So what is this and all? If afterwards also, if you didn't get connected well, if you read the customs related part also, then you'll understand it easily, the types of duties part. Okay. Bond to bond transfer. So let's say you have imported goods. I'm explaining, sir, here. You have imported, the goods have been imported and they were kept in the warehouse. Sir, in customs, you know, the goods which were imported can be cleared for home consumption on payment of duty or can be kept in the warehouse where the duty payment will be postponed to afterwards, postponed for some time. Okay, so you could pay the duty now and clear for home consumption, or else you could pay the duty afterwards, then other than for home consumption. Then you'll be usually keeping your goods in the warehouse. So imported goods kept in the warehouse. It was kept by A. Now A sold these goods to another person called B. Even after sale, the goods remain in the warehouse. It's not just the goods are removed. The goods remain in the warehouse, but there is a sale from A to B. The goods which were kept in the warehouse, customs warehouse, are sold by A to B. So the ownership of goods is being transferred, but the goods still remaining in the customs warehouse only. So this is called as bond to bond transfer. Why bond days came or why bond? Whenever you are warehousing goods, you need to execute a bond. Then now when you sold the goods to other person, in the place of your bond, his bond will be replaced. So there is a bond to bond transfer here. So in such cases, it's not a supply. So it's not eighth one, sir, sorry, seventh one. Then eighth one. Supply of goods from a place in non-taxable territory. Supply of a goods from a place in non-taxable territory. Non-taxable territory na nothing but the name of non-taxable territory is NTT. Supply of goods from a place in non-taxable territory to another place in non-taxable territory. Supply of goods from a place in non-taxable territory to another place in non-taxable territory Without such goods, entering into India. Supply of goods from a place in non-taxable territory to another place in non-taxable territory without such goods entering into India. Without such goods entering into India. So the goods are not actually entering into India. Example, sir, I purchased goods from Japan and selling those goods in Hong Kong. I purchased in Japan and Japan, Tokyo, and I am selling them in China, Hong Kong. So now in the course of transportation, nowhere the goods have entered into India. Just me being in India, I called to the Japan guy, I purchased goods, made the payment, and now I asked him to ship the goods to Hong Kong. The goods shipped to Hong Kong. Now from Hong Kong I got the payment. So only in my bank account the money went and came, and I am sitting here. No goods actually physically came into India from non-taxable territory to another non-taxable territory. So it's not a supply under GST. It is covered by negative list. The ninth one, high seas sales. High seas sale. What is meant by high seas? High seas, na? So let's say this is India. From India up to 12 nautical miles will be having territorial waters. Up to 200 nautical miles will be having exclusive economic zone. The one beyond the territorial waters and exclusive economic zones is there, na? Beyond 12 nautical miles and beyond 200 nautical miles exclusive economic zone. This part, okay, the whole, this part is there, na? This is called as high seas. All this is beyond this is called as high seas. This is high seas. So I actually purchased goods from somewhere outside India. The goods are coming, but during the transit, the goods not even entered into exclusive economic zone or even into territorial waters. The goods are in transit. Okay, I purchased from Australia. The goods are in transit, but in the meanwhile itself, I found a prospective buyer. So I sold the goods to the buyer with the transfer of title and documents as well. So then the sale is happened where in the midway in the sea, which is called as a high sea sale. In such case also it is not a supply. So these are some 9 cases, and the last, the 10th one, sir. 10th one. State government, any state governments actually issue license. Sir, we all know that whenever we look at a liquor shop, it would be always quite rush. And on newer days or on some special occasions, the people are standing in crowds, standing in like lines. Okay, the crowd, so much crowd is there in the liquor shop, and we all know liquor has so much of business here. So why can't we all start the liquor business? Why can't we all open a liquor outlet instead of starting so many other things or so many other shops? Everybody could go and start a liquor shop now. So to start a liquor shop, the state government has to give you license. So only on having a license to sell alcohol, you will be getting you will be able to open a liquor shop. So state governments issue license to sell alcohol which is for human consumption. To sell alcohol for human, alcohol liquor for human consumption. State government issue license to sell alcoholic liquor for human consumption to a person. To a person. So then state government issue license to sell alcoholic liquor for human consumption to a person. Then this issue of license to sell alcohol. To sell alcohol, whatever is the state government issues license. For that license, for that actually state government will call tenders, and they'll be using the lucky draw system, because so many will be quoting the tenders. So on a lucky draw, they'll select the prospective licenses and they'll be issuing the licenses. So whatever the license fee they get now for issuing license, that is not a supply. So not a supply of good or not a supply of good or service. So it is not a supply. However, this is applicable only for the licenses issued for sale of alcoholic liquor. If any license issued for any other purpose other than for sale of alcoholic liquor, then such licenses are covered under the definition of supply. All the other licenses issued by state government are within the purview of supply. All the other licenses issued by state government are within the purview of supply. Right? So under negative list we have total 10 transactions. The first 6 can be remembered easily, sir. The first 6, for the first 6 there is a code actually. Flames. It's not first 6, even the last one also covered. Flames. Flames now what? Funeral, burial, crematorium services. L for land and building, A for actionable claims, M for MPs, MLAs, and A for you can take even the alcohol liquor license, and E for employer services, S for Supreme Court. There are other 3. The goods are supplied from non-taxable territory to another non-taxable territory without such goods entering into India. The second one is bond to bond transfer. Third one is like high seas sale. So these are the transactions which are covered under the negative list. If a transaction is covered under negative list, it is neither supply of good nor supply of service. So with this we have completed the section 7. You understood, right? So what we are doing, sir, in section 7, under 7 subsection 1 we decided whether it is a supply or not. Once it is done, then you have moved on to 7 subsection 1a, and here you decided whether it is good or service. Once it is done, you went again and checked schedule 3. If it is not satisfied, I mean if it is not covered under schedule 3, then it is ultimately a supply. It is a supply. Okay. Okay. So now we'll be moving to our section 8. Sir, it's not exaggeration. Section 8, I don't know, sir. Why CMA Institute has so much love towards section 8? Composite supply and mixed supply. Okay, one day I'll just open the question paper and show you also. Every attempt you will find a question from composite supply and mixed supply. They'll ask a straight, direct, definitive related question, write about composite supply and mixed supply. Sometimes they'll ask a problem. Sometimes they'll ask a case study which is linked with composite supply and mixed supply. So for some reason, I don't know, But institute favorite topic, if anything is there, the first topic is composite supply and mixed supply. Okay, so composite supply and mixed supply, you should remember it something like a Xerox machine only. Okay, I don't know how many times you will be reading or you will write or practice, but composite supply definition and mixed supply definition, you should learn it perfectly. Like as if something like the good definition, how I have made you by heart, like good means every kind of mobile property. It excludes money and securities, includes growing crops, grass and things attached to the land but which are agreed to be separated before making supply. So like that, you should remember the same way the composite supply and mixed supply. That much important it is. Number of times, okay, check from the old syllabus or new syllabus. Out of 10 attempts, it is there in 9 attempts. Okay, so that much important composite supply and mixed supply. Okay, so whenever a topic I think like more utmost important, I'll do some kind of mukus. Okay, so if this mark you see now somewhere, okay, that is like A plus, that kind of category. So keep the heading, sir. Section 8. Composite supply and mixed supply. Composite supply and mixed supply. So I'll be explaining both of them. Composite supply and mixed supply. So first one, composite supply. Composite supply means means a supply made by, composite supply means a supply made by a taxable person of goods, services or both. So such supply should be made by a taxable person and the supply should be related to goods, services or both. Composite supply means a supply made by a taxable person of goods, services or both, which are naturally bundled, and supplied in conjunction with each other, which are naturally bundled and supplied in conjunction with each other. So composite supply means a supply made by a taxable person of goods, services or both, which are naturally bundled and supplied in conjunction with each other. So we need to understand here what is called naturally bundled and supplied in conjunction with each other. So see here, a person who supplies goods, services or both. Okay, I mean he is making not a single supply, he is making conjunction. So he is supplying a good or multiple goods, different kind of goods he is supplying in a single transaction, or else he is supplying a good as well as a service, or he is supplying multiple services as a single package. So means the supply of good or services or both which are naturally bundled and they are in conjunction with each other. So composite supply means a supply made by a taxable person in relation to goods, services or both, which are naturally bundled and in conjunction with each other. Then, and this should be in the usual course of business, in the ordinary course of business. In the ordinary course of business, and one of them is a principal supply. In the ordinary course of business, and one of them is a principal supply. One of them is a principal supply. So you should understand here what composite supply means. There is a supply of goods, services or both. Composite supply means it involves a supply of good, service or both, which is made by a taxable person, and such supplies and such multiple supplies are naturally bundled and they are conjoined. I mean, together they have been supplied and they are naturally bundled. In the ordinary course of business, it's not like a single transaction. It happens usually in the business, or else like they didn't made it as a special case. In the regular course of business only, they have clubbed multiple goods or multiple supplies, either goods related or service related, and supplied. Okay, and out of that bundle, one is principal. Principal na, out of those bundle, whichever is having dominant nature, predominant nature, whichever is main, that is called as the principal supply. Example I'll give. Okay, one of them is a what? Principal supply. So repeat it, sir. Composite supply means a supply made by a taxable person in relation to goods, services or both, which are naturally bundled and are in conjunction with, each other in the ordinary course of business, and one of them is a principal supply. So this definition you need to, it's not enough just you understand, you need to by heart it also. I'll give, sir, you are able to understand what is called composite supply and mixed supply, but that is not relevant here. That anyhow you learned in interlevel itself. Here the definition also you should remember perfectly. That's what I am expecting. Write down what is called principal supply. The supply which constitutes predominant element. Which constitutes predominant element. Which constitutes predominant element. So let's say a cell phone along with charger, cable, okay, and the SIM ejector, the back case, everything has been supplied as a package. So there are multiple supplies involved, in conjunction only they are supplying. So out of them, if the charger is predominant, back case predominant, or else the mobile predominant, which is predominant? Mobile is only, right? So then that mobile is treated as principal supply. Okay, let me give another example. You are staying in a hotel, and in a hotel they are providing you not only just a hotel stay accommodation, they are providing you laundry service, they are providing you the breakfast as well. So they are, as a package, they are giving you accommodation, your clothes related laundry, and even the food also being supplied. So that also, which is main. So when you go to a hotel, the lodging hotel, your main expectation is to get a stay. So accommodation is main there. So in every composite supply, you are able to decide which is the predominant one. You should be in a position to decide which is the predominant. Sir, all are equals like only, sir, we cannot decide which is predominant, then it is not a composite supply. Okay. So one thing you should decide is like naturally bundled or not. Second one, predominant. Deciding predominant is damn easy. Deciding naturally bundled only little tough. Okay. So that's why first I targeted on predominant, principal supply. So out of the bundle, you should identify whichever is the principal supply. Then you should find out naturally bundled. Okay, you should understand what is called naturally bundled. Naturally bundled, sir. For naturally bundled, actually there is no definition. For naturally bundled, actually there is no definition given. There are only certain parameters. There is no standard definition. They are only just indicators. They are only just indicators. What are those indicators? First one is perception of customer. Perception of customer. So what is that? How the customer is going to expect them. So that is the perception of customer. How the customer is going to expect them. Whether he is expecting all of them as a bundle or he is expecting a separate or single individual item. So that depends whether it is a naturally bundled or not. Second one, how majority suppliers provide. Majority suppliers supply as bundle. Okay, so all the business or the whole industry will supply them as a bundle. So it's not like everybody is selling like individually, only this fellow selling them as a bundle. So all the people or all the players in the industry will sell them as a bundle only. That one is a parameter for deciding whether it is naturally bundled or not. Third one, they will not be having different prices. For the whole package, there will be only one single price. Okay, let's say take an example of air conditioner. Air conditioner, whenever, I mean, in this era, if you buy air conditioner, you are expecting like the store person only will get delivered at your premises and he will be installing the air conditioner as well. So let's say you are paying 45,000 for an air conditioner, you are expecting in that 45,000 the AC, delivery and installation. Which is predominant? Delivery and installation is not predominant, AC is predominant. So you understand which is principal supply. Then whether it is naturally bundled or not, yes, because the customer is expecting when he is buying an AC, he is expecting like it has to be delivered and installed. Customer perception. Next, majority sellers, majority AC providers or electronic showrooms are doing that one. So majority doing that. Okay, then they should be having a single price. Or else fourth one, how they are advertised. I mean, they are advertised as a single package. How they are advertised is also a parameter. Then fifth one, whether they are available separately or not. If those items are not available separately, individual items, then we could say it as like naturally bundled. Okay, let's say usually along with TV, if remote is given, naturally bundled only. For a bottle, along with bottle cap, even though it could be separately kept, you cannot find a bottle cap separately, right? So they are like what? Elements which are not available separately. Elements not available separately, and the elements are integral. One is connected with the another. The elements are connected with one another. So the elements are integral. So to understand what is called composite supply, you should have a test. The supply should be made by a taxable person and they are naturally.
So good morning.
Actually, Okay. See, we should check what naturally bundled or not, and they should be principal supply. So naturally bundled or not, for that we are having 6 kind of tests. It's like any of these points are satisfied majorly, then we could call it as what naturally bundled. What are those? The perception of customer, how customer is expecting them, how the majority are doing them, how, whether it is for a single price or for multiple prices, how they are advertised, how they are available, how they are integrated. All these are tests to decide whether it is naturally bundled or not. You understand, right? So then if these are satisfied, then they are called as composite supply and mixed supply. Okay. Sorry, it's only composite supply. So we'll write down about mixed supply. What is called mixed supply? Two or more individual supplies of goods, services, or both. Two or more individual supplies of goods, services, or both. Two or more individual supply of goods, services, or both. Made in conjunction with each other. Made in conjunction with each other by a taxable person. For a single price, and it is not a composite supply. For a single price, and it is not a composite supply. See here, mixed supply means two or more individual supply of goods, services, or both. Two or more individual supply of goods, services, or both made in conjunction with each other by a taxable person, and for a single price. It is not a composite supply, then it is not a composite supply. So two or more individual supply of goods, services, or both made in conjunction with each other by a taxable person for a single price, and it is not a composite supply. So here also two or more supplies are made conjunction with each other, but the for a single price only, but it is not a composite supply. To call it as composite supply, what should have happened? They should be naturally bundled, and one of them should be a principal supply, right? If those things are missed, but all the other elements are being there, then that is called as what? Mixed supply. So simple composite supply, when two or more supply of goods and services are made by a taxable person in relation to goods, services, or both, which are naturally bundled and supplied in the conjunction with each other in the ordinary course of business, and one of them is a principal supply. Mixed supply, two or more individual supply of goods, services, or both made in conjunction with each other in the ordinary course of business by a taxable person for a single price, and it is not a composite supply, then that is what? Mixed supply. So let us write about the taxability of composite supply and mixed supply. Taxability of composite and mixed supply. Taxability of composite supply and mixed supply. composite supply, mixed supply. So if it is a composite supply, then how it is taxed? Treated the whole bundle. So let's say in the transaction, you are mixing 3-4 items and supplying. And if it is a composite supply, all those items are taxed at the same rate, the rate applicable to the principal supply. Treated as supply of the principal supply. Treated as supply of the principal supply. Mixed supply na treated as supply that attracts higher tax rate. Treated as supply that attracts higher tax rate. Composite supply na treated as the supply of the principal supply. Mixed supply na treated as supply that attracts higher tax rate. I mean mixed supply. So the example of mixed supply na, so no perfect combination for them. So anything like let's say a stationery shop is selling, like during the starting of an academic year, they used to sell, I mean the bookshop stationery guys will sell like some standard 6 set of notebooks and the book covers, say box, I mean a container for to keep the pencils, a set of pencils, a set of pens, sharpener, eraser. So all these things they are made as a set, and the set is being sold for some 2000 rupees. You understand, right? So it consists of some 10 notebooks, some other things, and a bag as well. Then it may be for 3000, like that they are selling, like bag, books, pens, pencil, sharpener, all these things they are selling as a single kind of bundle. Then it is a mixed supply. Why? Because it's not naturally bundled, because every student will not expect like the same, and it's not like all the stationery shops will do the same. And next, their elements are integral, they are available separately, and they will be having separate prices. Majority will not sell like the same, they are not advertised like that. So then it's not a composite supply, it will come under the mixed supply. Okay, now books will have one GST rate, bag will have another rate, pen have some other rate, eraser has some other rate. Which rate has to be taken? Out of this bundle, whichever is having the highest tax rate, that rate only has to be levied on the total bundle. Whichever is having the highest tax rate, that rate only has to be levied on the whole bundle. Okay, so now sir, okay, sir, as I said already, composite supply and mixed supply so important. So what I did means, I went through the ICA exam, ICA material like final, inter, both, and I checked each and every problem, and I have written out all the examples which are composite and mixed supply. So I'll be writing all those examples like the summary kind of only. This is composite supply, this is mixed supply, this is composite supply, this is mixed supply, like that. Okay, so all those things. So in any case, whatever the point or situation they are going to exam is going to cover from those examples which you are going to write. So you'll be having some kind of comfort in the exam also. You could clearly decide whether it is composite or mixed supply, and I'm quite confident, like, so even though the test in exam also, it should be one of these examples only regarding composite supply and mixed supply. Okay. Composite supply related. Examples, composite supply. So don't expect too much interpretations or explanations from me. Quickly will examples only, right? Write down fastly along with me. First one, printing of books. So what happens here? Printing of books na, it involves paper and printing. Then it is what? Composite supply. Then second one, providing transportation, and during the transport even a meal also offered. Meal with transport. Okay, so examples, Rajdhani. Okay, these are only will be there in exam also. Rajdhani, Shatabdi, these trains, it is composite supply. Sir, in Vande Bharatna it's not composite because there you have option either to opt for food or not. But in Vande Bharat you don't have such option. Sorry, in Rajdhani Express, when you are traveling, along with booking the train ticket, you even need to book the food also. You only have the choice of choosing whether veg or non-veg. Okay, you cannot opt out from taking the food. So it's about composite supply. Printing of books, it's also a composite supply. So here meal with transport, meal and transport both are there. Composite supply. Third one, a laptop supplied along with the bag. So when you bought a laptop, you have been given a bag as well. So then that is also called as a composite supply only. Along with the purchase of laptop, bag is given. That is the usual thing. Whenever you went to a store and purchased a laptop, expecting a bag is an usual expectation. Then mobile and charger together. Mobile plus charger, that is also composite supply. Mobile plus charger is also composite supply. Then electronics plus delivery plus installation. I mean electronics, not TV, air conditioner, those kind of things. Purchase, delivery and installation. Then that is what composite supply. Composite supply. Then there is something called credit sale. Credit sale what? There is purchase of good or service plus extending credit. There is purchase of good or service. So this thing we already explained here. I mean before the declaratory agent thing I have explained that one. Okay, you purchased a car or bike on credit basis. Okay, on hire purchase or EMI basis. So then they will be offering you the good, and even they are offering you the extending the credit also. So two things. One is the service by way of offering loan, and the second one is like supplying good. What it is? It is also what? Composite supply. Sir, just to go back and check. In this one, printing of books is a composite supply. Which is predominant, paper or printing? For that there is a clarification, we'll discuss there. Next one, meal with transport. Meal important at is it meal important or transportation important? Transportation is only important. So composite supply, predominant is transport. Laptop with bag, predominant is what? Laptop. Mobile and charger, predominant is what? Mobile. Electronic, I mean AC, its delivery and installation, which is electronic item. Credit sale, the good or service is being supplied, and for that credit also offered. Which is important, sir? One second, sir. Okay, good and service, and there is an extension of credit, which is what? Composite supply. Then sale of good plus transportation. For sale of good there is transportation, insurance, okay, all this. Then that is also what? Composite supply. Because usually when you buy goods you expect delivery of them. So you expect the supplier may arrange the transportation. So that's why it is also what? Sorry, let me check once again. Okay. So sale of goods plus transportation and insurance. It is also what? It's a composite supply. Then movie ticket. Along with movie ticket, there is even popcorn sold. Movie ticket plus popcorn. So here, if the tickets, sir, understand, if if that is something like a premiere show, and you could buy the ticket as a combo pack only, like you need to buy the ticket at 500 rupees along with popcorn. Okay, you don't have the choice of opting out popcorn. Mandatorily, you should even buy the popcorn. So those kind of tickets are only sold. It's not just. Okay, sale of goods and transport. Okay, movie ticket, and along with movie tickets, even popcorn is also being given. So you should check whether the option is there or not. So if you can opt out popcorn, but still you purchased along with popcorn mixed supply. If you have no option to opt out popcorn, you should mandatorily buy even the popcorn. Then it comes as a composite supply. Tickets sold only as combo, then it comes under composite supply. Then construction contract. In a construction contract, there involves both goods and services. Works contract example. That is also has to be treated as what? Composite supply only. Composite supply. Then stay in hotel plus breakfast plus laundry. In a hotel, breakfast and laundry provided. This is a usual expectation only, which is common in the hotel industry. So it has to be treated as what? Composite supply. It is a composite supply. Then treatment to patient. Treatment to patient in hospital plus providing food or diet as suggested by doctor. So from the hospital only, hospital owns a canteen. From that hospital canteen only, food also being supplied and treatment also being carried out to such patient. So then this is also composite supply. Which is predominant here? Which is predominant here? That food diet, not food diet, treatment is the predominant. In the first one, hotel stay is predominant. In the construction contract, which is predominant? They are classified as supply of service. So service is predominant. Movie ticket is predominant. Sale of goods is predominant. Here extension of credit sale, good is predominant. Electronic predominant. Mobile predominant. Laptop predominant. Here transport predominant. Here there is having a separate clarification, right? And the last one, sir, for composite ones, finance lease. So there will be two types of lease, right? Finance lease. In a finance lease, there will be the lease rentals paid and even interest amount also paid. So this also has to be treated as what? Composite supply. A finance lease also has to be treated as what? Composite supply only. It involves lease rentals and even the interest part. So overall I have given 12 examples. These were not created by me. When you refer to the whole institute material, you will find only these 12 kind of scenarios in the whole book. These only will be repeating number of times. So if you have proper clarity regarding these 12 items, you can easily identify whether it is a composite supply or not. Then we'll discuss about mixed supply also. For mixed supply also, we are having some 6 items. So from these 18 items, you'll be having crystal clear clarity. Whatever the item comes in the exam, you could easily decide whether it is composite or mixed supply. Examples: mixed supply. One second, sir. Okay. Then examples of what? Mixed supply. First one, Diwali gift hamper. Diwali gift hamper. It's a mixed supply. Diwali gift hamper. It's a mixed supply. Then a pack of shirt. This is a example, sir, in our institute material. A pack of shirt, wallet, Diwali gift hamper. This is a best example of mixed supply, sir, because in CA material also it get repeated so many times. Diwali gift hamper na. So there will be some sweets, dry fruits like badam, pista, different kind of nuts, and even the sweets, everything placed in a kept in a box, and such box is given na. That is a Diwali gift hamper, which has to be treated as what? Mixed supply. Then a pack of shirt, wallet, watch, then book. Sir, how these are connected, sir? With shirt, wallet, watch na somehow connected. So why unexpectedly book has came here? So that's why it also what? No natural bundling here. So it's what? Mixed supply. Then free bucket with detergent. Sometimes, so these supermarkets may offer something like when you buy the detergent, you will be getting the free bucket as well. So like that, free bucket with detergent. So you may think like the bucket is linked with the detergent, but understand, does the bucket used only for washing clothes? You can use the bucket for so many other purposes also, right? So free bucket with detergent, it's the mixed supply. Then a kit by fancy store. Kit by fancy store, which consists of one hair oil, one hair comb, one beauty soap. Kit by fancy store, which consists of one hair oil, one hair comb, one beauty soap, which is also what? Mixed supply. A fancy store selling like this. Okay, for to get ready instantly, they are selling like one hair oil sachet, one comb, one beauty soap. But these days, who is applying hair oil so quickly, right? So nobody using hair oil. So I mean, I don't say like they're not even using, but before you go into somewhere, like, you'll not use hair oil, right? Ready made kind of kits and all. So that's a old example maybe. Okay, mixed supply, that also. The next, sir, this is very important one, sir. Fifth one important. UPS, you know, right? I mean, inverter in house, usually an inverter will be kept, right? So in inverter there will be some UPS device, and even there will be a battery as well. So whenever you buy inverter, a battery will be given and this UPS will also be given. So what this UPS will give now, when actually the power is there, it takes the power from the circuit and the battery will get charged. When the power is gone, now then the UPS will use the power from the battery and will be, I mean, from the battery power, the lights or the fans may be turning on or may be used. So that way, if they are used together, the point is, when you buy inverter, you will get a battery as well as that UPS device. Whether they are composite supply or mixed supply, there is an advanced link, sir, which we will discuss maybe in tomorrow's class or the next class, or the day after the next class. Okay, so in that class we will be having an advanced ruling also regarding this UPS and the battery, but that advanced ruling decision only we are writing here, which has been classified as mixed supply. External storage device, which is the battery and UPS, if they are supplied together, then it is a mixed supply. Then toothpaste and toothbrush, when they are supplied together, then also it is a mixed supply. Sir, toothpaste and toothbrush linked only, na sir? Sir, how it is linked, sir? You buy one toothpaste, for the whole family you will buy only one toothbrush, yeah? Everyone will be having a separate toothbrush, right? Even though we might be having a common toothpaste, the brushes are different, right? And understand, whenever you buy toothbrush, it's not necessary to buy toothpaste, or else whenever you buy toothpaste, it is not necessary to buy toothbrush. So you, even though the toothbrush and toothpaste may be used for the same purpose, but it's not like they are not available separately. We expect them like together, or neither the industry will not sell them as a packet only always. So that's why toothpaste and toothbrush are mixed supply only. So here there are 6 examples, here there are some 12 examples. By referring to these 18 things, you will have some kind of clarity. So first check whether they are naturally bundled or not. So to check whether it is naturally bundled or not, there are 6 parameters. So 6 tests, some of them has to be satisfied to decide as naturally bundled. Once it is naturally bundled, and decide which is the principal supply. Okay, right? So with this, section 8 also got completed, sir, and the related examples also. So now we are having clarifications only pending in this chapter. Okay, it's not like 1 or 2 clarifications, sir. There are so many clarifications actually. Okay, which takes full class regarding the clarifications only. Then in a single class we can discuss, like, I think from now on another 3.5 to 4 hours standard our time is needed with respect to supply chapter. In one class we may finish off, so I'm expecting like we could finish off all the clarifications. In the other class we could discuss about those advanced rulings and pronouncements, and even we could discuss the problems part. Okay, so I've been leaving you a little early, so today I cannot even take the class 2 hours, but it's already near the 8 p.m. So 5 minutes early I'm leaving. Okay, enjoy the time which I have been given. Okay, so again, so don't feel me someone like memory loss patient like, but every class I'll be keep on saying the same thing. Go revise at least for 30 minutes once the class get completed. So you are not doing justice to the fees you paid unless you are not revising at least for 30 minutes after the class completion. Okay, do that.